FIBA's done. That's it. No more this summer.
Override.
It's unfortunate. This will be the final FIBA show until inevitably World Cup qualifiers this fall, baby. More on that later. Joe Dellera's back. EuroBasket into today. Germany are the European champions 2 years after being the world champions. Germany is the best team in the world outside of Team USA right now. Like, they just are. And they won the hardest tournament to win outside of the Olympics and the World Cup, but the hardest tournament to win, like the strongest of the Continental Cups. So Joe Dellera's back, Cash That Podcast, Action Network. I'm here. We've been here. This is our fourth EuroBasket show, I think, or something along those lines.
We've done more EuroBasket shows than literally anyone in this country. I can almost guarantee it. Like
in this country, yes. Definitely not in Europe, but in this country, yes.
Definitely not in Europe. I didn't go there, but
that's probably true. Okay. Where to begin? Germany just, like, 2022, they get bronze in EuroBasket. 2023, they win the World Cup. 2024, they get to the bronze medal game and lose to Serbia. And they could have probably won that game, but Serbia was just, Serbia at the end. And then here, they win the European Championship. Like, this is a great run. You have 3 medals, 2 golds in a 4-year span. Dennis Schroder, MVP of the World Cup and MVP of EuroBasket this year, getting Hall of Fame conversations. We're going to get to that in a little bit, but just I guess what are your biggest takeaways from this experience overall?
I mean, it's a great tournament. I think that you can officially say now, I mean, obviously Serbia, injuries, whatever, but I think through it all, Germany is like the secondary powerhouse in the world, I think, right now. I think you have to say they're the second best team in the world after the United States. And I think there's a caveat to that because the United States just doesn't really give a shit until the Olympics. So for all intents and purposes, as long as it's not the literal like 3 weeks of the Olympics, Germany might be the best team in the world, which is no like small task. Because if you look at the team itself, there's nobody that you look at and you go, this player is extremely impressive. Like, they're a really good team. Dennis Schroeder has been unbelievable. Franz Wagner's good. They've been awesome as well. Like, Daniel Tice puts in good minutes. Opes puts in great minutes. Like,
Franz Wagner might be an NBA All-Star.
Yeah,
but they have two like really good, especially international,
really good players. Yeah, like really good players.
Yeah, neither of whom, we were talking about this, neither of whom are probably going to be in the conversation for the best individual player in the tournament, but can win MVP because, and this is why Dennis Schroder won MVP. He was 0 for 1 in the first half. Germany was down 6 at halftime. We were both like, they're defending him pretty well, but like, what's happening here? And then he's the guy that takes you home in the fourth quarter. Like, he makes the big shots. He creates the big shots. He turns the ball over, gets it right back, scores. Like, he just comes through. And then you look up and it's like, oh, God, he did it again, where he has whatever it is.
And I think that's a good point, though, right? Because you're talking about Schroeder and how he like set up everything for everybody else. He kind of, I think, makes the German team hum because Franz like can get his own bucket, can facilitate for other people like to a degree, but that's not like his thing. He's more of a like, I'm going to score. I can defend as well. I'm going to get you some rebounds. I can play up. I can play down, whatever. Schroeder is the guy that makes that team work. And I think it's notable because if you look at some of these other teams, some of these other matchups, some of these other teams, let's even talk about just the medal rounds, right? Where you have Turkey, Finland, and Greece. And the biggest questions, honestly, around all 3 of those teams was, do they really have like a lead guard? And none of them really, like Tyler Dorsey, hit or miss. Shane, like Larkin was like hit like up, down, left, right, all over the place. Good, but not somebody that you could say, we're going to give it, like, we really trust you right now. At the end of the game. Yeah, and at the end of the game, you saw that be a problem when they're like, shit, like, how do we do this right now when our best player Şengün, who, as much as he wanted to talk shit about Giannis's passing, Şengün can't create his own fucking shot.
What did he
Like,
say again?
he said like Giannis isn't a good passer, basically, so that's why we defended him the way that we did. And it's like, I mean, their defense of Giannis was, let's put like 3 or 4 guys and just tell them to collapse on Giannis every time he gets the ball, which, like, that speaks more about the rest of the Greek team than anything else, I think.
I found the quote.
Yeah.
He said Şengün said about Giannis. He's not a great passer. He's an amazing player, but he's not a great passer. So just tried to help and jump to close the paint. So it depends on what you define great passer, I suppose. He's not like a great passer compared to like Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like in terms of great NBA passer, or even Şengün
he averages more assists than Şengün.
But like he is a really good passer, Like I think Şengün's like a more talented passer, but yeah, yes. Giannis is also his play. I love when he becomes playmaker Giannis because it's more effective and opens things up for not just other guys but himself too. Apparently his response, because a reporter asked about this.
Yeah,
Giannis, who one of the better quotes in just basketball. I think there was another one today afterwards that I tweeted about that got a ton of traction, if you want to say that much, but about how emotional he got after winning a bronze medal. We'll get to that shortly. But I'm a guy that doesn't like to talk a lot. I let my game talk. I'm going to my 13th season in the NBA. I won everything. And the EuroBasket medal was I won. I'm not the guy that will talk back to coaches or players or people that say bad things about me. That's true, actually. It doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, you won't remember what they say. You remember how I will respond. He's a good fucking quote, man.
Yeah. Like he answered it perfectly. And it's also like one of those things. It's like, he doesn't give a shit. Like he really doesn't. It's like, look, either way, your team lost to the same team that I just lost to. And, it's like, whatever, like, or you lost to Germany, like whatever. And they finish on a win. They get the bronze medal. They were clearly like, they were really an underdog for the most part. In terms of Greece, and it was a great tournament. Plus, and like at the end of the day, Giannis, he's got an NBA championship. He has a ring. So he's like, I've done everything. I'm an MVP. I've done everything. Like, what else do you want from me? Like, I'm pretty awesome. So, but I do think that this point, though, to kind of bring it back in terms of needing that like lead guard, leading the person to either be able to create their own shot or always be able to create for other people. That seems to be the thing that's setting Germany apart. And to a degree with Serbia, like when Bogdanovic went down, they lost that guard. So you don't have the guard that can kind of create their own shot or, stir it up for a little bit for everybody else when Jokic wasn't in. And then it became just everything has to be Jokic. So that's, I think, something that Serbia is going to have to work on. But I think it shows overall the development in the international game, at least from the integration of more NBA talent, like kind of as it's come in. And then you have these guys that are willing to play for their teams for consecutive tournaments, consecutive years, and it's getting more eyes on the product. And I think, you're going to have to see some of these other teams, some of these other countries where maybe that's going to happen more often. Like France sent realistically their like B squad, if not C squad, to this tournament. I wonder if that's something that would maybe change moving forward if, kind of given the landscape of these tournaments.
And now the next cycle is going to begin. So we're going to see teams start to look different. Some guys are going to get older. Dennis Schroder, for example, actually turns 32 tomorrow, or he's in Europe. So happy 32nd birthday, Dennis Schroder, if somehow you come across this. But like that. And please don't spend the entire season in Sacramento. I hope he gets traded to a good team, honestly. Yeah. Like, I think he can. I'm not saying he can be like one of the best guards in the NBA, but I've always thought he could be more than he has been. We've seen glimpses of it, but like some of the numbers that some of these other guards put up, I'm like, Dennis Schroder could do that. Yeah. But he's never just had that sort of system, except for like the Hawks when they were bad, and then OKC that one year where it was him, Shea, and
he was good with the Lakers that one year too.
Yeah, like but it's always on these weird teams that are like rebuilding or they're like caught in the middle, and this is like a stopgap year or a gap year rather, and shit like that. So this is a final look at the tournament. Germany was losing for a lot of the game against Finland, and then got them at the end. And Turkey, I mean, they were down with over a minute to go and just flipped the game and was like, all right, we're down 3 and now we're up 5.
Yeah.
And then Greece beats Finland. This is Germany's second EuroBasket gold. Let me make sure.
Dirk had, I think it was when Dirk won.
They had silver with Dirk. So
was it? I thought they won.
So I tweeted this out. Okay, here we go. EuroBasket medal stand. So Germany's first gold since 1993, their second ever. Turkey's second EuroBasket silver, third medal overall in competition. And the first 2 medals happened when they were hosting tournaments, one EuroBasket and one, I believe, in the World Cup, but I have it right here. So we're going to get confirmation. Greece's first medal since 2009, third bronze. They have, I think, the 8th most ever, but let's see. Here's the expanded notes. So Germany heading into the gold medal game. This is their second gold. They had the silver with Dirk in 2005. There's a bronze here also previously, and obviously the World Cup. Turkey, yeah. So they have a silver from 2001 in EuroBasket, and they got a silver for the 2010 World Cup. That's what it was. I want to say Hedo Turkoglu was on that team.
That would check out.
Which is how you get there to begin with. That was also when Team USA had Rose, Durant. Like that was like the famous.
They tried.
It was like the famous B team. It was like all the it was like a lot of really good players who were younger, so to speak. Let me just confirm that part of it. And then with Turkey, so they hosted those 2 tournaments, and then with Greece, they had 2 golds prior to this. They obviously didn't get gold. They had a silver. This is their third bronze. They have from 49 and 2009. So they have the 8th most medals in EuroBasket history. And Finland has still never medaled, but they've never finished better than 6th in a major competition. They finished 4th in this one. So, and Finland's got 1 star right now, Lauri Markkanen. They got another one coming. So
dude, he's got to go to school tomorrow.
I mean, for real, he's in high school, bro. By the way, that Team USA World Cup team in 2010, I'll just give you the main characters. Kevin Durant, Kevin Love, 2010. So Kevin Love was different at that point.
Yeah,
Stephen Curry. They had Curry, young Curry.
Oh, yeah.
Not like the really, really good version, but still he was blossoming. Russell Westbrook, Derrick Rose on the same team. Chauncey Billups was the vet on this team, but yeah, most of these guys were 21. Eric Gordon was really young. Lamar Odom was the elder statesman on that team. Tyson Chandler, Andre Iguodala, who just makes sense on every single basketball team possible. That's really, really, really.
Yeah. They had this Turkey, the Turkey A team had Turkoglu, Ilyasova, Omer Asik.
That's a good team.
they got a couple big guys there. But this Team USA team is crazy to think that this was a B squad when you actually kind of look at who the players were, in retrospect. But then it's some of these dudes didn't even play in the title game.
Yeah, they had Erdin as well. I mean, this is really really good stuff. So let's go back because I had something else queued up from here. Actually, this was cool too. Dennis Schroder was just emotional for a lot of this. Yeah. The All-Star 5. We pretty much thought this was gonna go this way. It was Giannis, Dennis Schroder, Alperen Şengün, Franz Wagner, Luka Doncic. Any objections here?
No, I mean, I think you could have made an argument that Luka shouldn't have been in there just because they got eliminated, but Luka was insane. Absolutely insane. So I don't have any objections. I think that the generally this all 5 is going into did you advance? Did you get into at least the medal round?
And the second team, which got posted later, they didn't get the photo. Jetty Osman, Lauri Markkanen, Jordan Lloyd, Denny Avdija, which I'm sure will be controversial, and Nikola Jokic, all on the second team for the tournaments.
Yeah, I
Any
mean,
objections to this list based
I
on basketball?
no, I mean, honestly, like, I think that was, like, fair, right? Like like, there's no way to really keep, Jokic out of it. Markkanen had to be in. Denny was 3rd in points per game, and, Laurie was 4th, Jordan Lloyd was 5th. So, and honestly, like, Turkey just need another guy. Like, Chetty, I think though they probably could have found somebody else, but they're in the title game.
Honestly,
I
they're
get
probably
it.
good enough
Like,
to win. They're probably good enough to win, but Germany's a machine.
yeah,
I also think if Poland beats Turkey in the quarterfinals, which
Chetty's not in
obviously
there.
that was going to be uphill, but no, I was going to say Jordan Lloyd. If he gets to the semifinals, that
Oh yeah,
he probably makes that first team because
yeah,
he was
I,
on a heater
yeah,
leading up to
yeah.
that.
He was really good, really good.
Really good. So those are the teams, the fives. I mean, what else is there to say other than Dennis Schroder getting MVP?
I mean, I think that was a little bit of an interesting thing, right? Because I think I texted you
Let's go to the box
the
score.
odds. So going into that game, did I text you the odds? I think I
Isak
thought.
Bonga, by the way, got MVP of the game, not the tournament. Dennis Schroder got tournament MVP, but Isak Bonga was ridiculous.
Oh yeah, so here it was. So the
He was
odds
defensive
going
player. I forgot. Isak Bonga was defensive player of the tournament. He did get that.
interesting,
Yeah.
interesting. So the odds going into the final were Şengün MVP plus 110, Schroeder plus 180, Franz Wagner plus 230. Everybody else was 50 to 1 or greater. So I thought it was interesting because the odds kind of implied that Schroeder would be favored over Wagner. Even though I had felt that Wagner I thought he kind of took the momentum away from Schroeder, but at the end of the day, I think it goes back to just kind of what we said. Germany needs Schroeder to win this game. Like, there's just no way around it. And at the end of the game, he's the guy that had the ball in his hands, took the big shots, and sealed the deal.
Franz had like 16 at halftime, and he ended with
Yeah.
18. And
Yeah.
that's kind of the thing. Like, Franz did his part. We said in the first half, we were texting about this. We're like, Franz is doing his part. Dennis needs to steps up, and once Dennis steps up, they're fine. And it took a while, but like, he had 2 points in the first half. He shot 0 for 1, and then he's 5 for 10 in the second half. He gets to the line a little bit more. He finishes with 16. He gets from 5 assists to 12 because they get 5 in the first half. He gets to 12. He had 6 turnovers, which wasn't great, but he was just engineering this, and it wasn't him alone. Isak Bonga made all his threes. Isak Bonga, who I think he's an NBA player who's stuck in Europe right now, but I think he's going to be one of these guys who maybe in a year from now, because someone tweeted at me that he has like he can't jump. He can't make the NBA jump right now contractually because he's at Partisan right now and he doesn't have an NBA opt out. To which I would say, like, if there's a team that really wants you bad enough,
They'll pay. Like, you'll get there.
You know this as a lawyer, like, there's always a loophole if you really want somebody.
Well, I mean, the biggest thing is that like the number one thing because it's employment law at the end of the day, the number one thing is that nobody can force you. There's no slavery. Like, you can't force somebody to work for you. Like, they could sit out. They could be like, look, I'm just not going to play, or I'm going to retire, like, whatever. And at that point, most of these squads are going to say, all right, well, like, just give us something and then we'll get them out of here,
Yeah, a buyout. Yeah. And that's really what it comes down. Money talks ultimately in every industry. And I think with Isak Bonga in particular, I think he's gonna be a Gershon Yabusele. Like, he's gonna be one of these dudes who, after a few years, finds his way. It's already been a few years since he was in the NBA. And he spent
it took Yabu a couple of years too.
Yeah, it took him a while. It took him 6 years to get back.
Yeah.
And Bonga was like, he was good in Partisan last year. Partisan is one of the better teams in Europe, and obviously in Serbia, who has a tremendous fan base, at least from afar, in terms of the energy and atmosphere. So they're going to play some fun games this year. 4 for 4 from 3, 8 of 11 from the field, tremendous defense. And if I'm an NBA team, like, I'm trying to get him back into the league. Other than that, Obst, he did it again. 9
He
points,
does what he
three
does.
threes. 9 points, 3 threes. Like
It's
we're always like, is he gonna hit 3 today? Is he gonna hit 5? Is he gonna hit 2 only?
it's unbelievable with him. And the thing is too, what I like about Opes, and I think it's something that I would if the markets were available, I would try to bet into it more. Basically, like he comes in off of timeouts all the time, and the play is without fail, he's taking a three. Like after a timeout, like if he checks in or he's in the game, the play is immediately like some sort of, maybe like a little bit of a horns action or something, or even a straight up inbound. And he is just ripping a three. Like that's their play. Cause it's just like, can you set him up with a good look? If he's set up with a good look, the ball's going in. Like he's one of the best 3-point shooters I've ever seen.
Tristan da Silva, also another last guy from Germany I'll shout out, who I thought had some pretty good moments. He didn't shoot a ton. He did shoot 53% from 3 in this tournament. I think he is a spacer in Orlando, playing with Franz Wagner. I strongly think the Magic should trade for Dennis Schroder. Like I think, yeah, they got Tyus Jones, they have Desmond Bane. But like, why would you not try to see if this can translate on some level in terms of just chemistry with Franz Wagner and Tristan da Silva? Like for stretch, it's not going to win. Is it going to win you an NBA title? Like just that one move? I don't know. But will it strengthen your top 7? Yes.
Yeah,
he's better than Tyus Jones.
Yeah. Like I feel like we've talked about this often, and we just are like, well, why would you not just bring him in? Just why would you not bring him in? Like,
how was Dennis Schroder with the Kings? I don't understand that.
I don't know. Like, maybe it's a money thing, but at the same time, like my thought is, if you went to him and you said, "Hey, man, like, do you want if Franz and Tristan da Silva got together and they just said, "Hey, do you want to like come play together again, like more because we know it works." And the biggest thing about this is the thing that pains me about the Magic. They so desperately need a fucking point guard, because
it's Tyus and it's Bane and Suggs. Yeah. I don't think Suggs is like a real.
Suggs isn't really a point guard.
Like he's a point guard like now in 2025, but he's. I think you need like a Schroeder-ish type of dude maybe next to him.
And I think one of the things that is interesting about Tyus Jones, and let me know your thoughts on this, but with Tyus Jones, he's like known for having this incredible assist to turnover ratio, like one of the best, if not the best in the league year in, year out.
Where you're going.
I think it's because he doesn't take enough chances. Like, I think it's because he's not pushing the envelope enough. And that's why you'll have these spots where he would sub in for somebody and you go, he should crush. Like, this is a great matchup. Like he should have at least 10 assists. Like he should be able to get a double-double in this spot. And it's just total dud game. And I think a lot of it is because he doesn't take chances. And I get that maybe that's not like optimal if you're the backup, but if you're going to run point for 30 plus minutes a night, you got to take some chances. It's okay. You're allowed to do that. You're supposed to trust yourself in terms of your passing. Schroeder, on the other hand, we see it when he plays, like with this German team, 6 turnovers today, still 12 dimes. And some of the turnovers, not necessarily his fault, but still idea was there trying to make something happen. I don't know. I feel like that turnovers are okay given the context, especially if somebody's got a massive amount of usage.
The assist to turnover ratio thing is interesting because I do think it's a little bit like the quarterback who has a 70% completion percentage.
Yeah.
And has like 18 touchdown passes and like 6 interceptions, but it's because they're just dinking and dunking all the time.
Chad Pennington, dude.
Alex Smith, you know what I mean? And it's like, what are you really telling me? I think it's important, but like some of the guys who are really good at assist to turnover ratio, like it doesn't really matter unless they take a step. So for example, when I cover the Nets, Spencer Dinwiddie had like an amazing assist to turnover ratio when he first got there.
Yeah.
It didn't really matter like that until the next year when he became a most improved player candidate and he took more chances. He turned the ball over a little bit more. in totality, but not by percentage. And that's where you really felt the difference.
Yeah,
Now
like nobody cares.
his shooting was inefficient, but he was still like doing great in fourth quarters and things like that. And as he became a better, especially then when he was a borderline all-star at
Yeah,
one point. And it's one of those things where it's like, and he would turn the ball over a little bit more. He was still responsible with the ball. He would turn the ball over a little bit more, but if you're only excelling in that one area, I guess is my point, and you're not like making these leaps in other areas, because Tyus Jones is not like he's not a Jalen Suggs type of defender either. He's
no,
good for his playmaking, his efficiency, but he's like really safe, and that's why he makes sense as a backup. Terry Rozier is another guy, actually. Like a lot of people don't know this. Surprisingly very good assist to turnover ratio throughout his career, usually,
yeah.
which given some recent allegations might
Well,
surprise
he
some
knows he
people.
needs to keep the ball because he's got to fucking miss. Like,
Like his career production is actually like quite surprisingly, considering the context of where he's been, surprisingly good up until last year.
yeah,
Like if you redraft him, you're probably going to pick him in the same area or even maybe a little bit higher. I have to see. The 2015 draft is a weird class. He was another borderline all-star at one point, but Tyus Jones is not that. So I think like Schroder actually can go out and like get you a shot, get somebody else a shot. To your point,
yeah. I mean, I think it's just that delta, right? Like if you're playing 25 minutes a game and you're getting 5 assists, 1 turnover, the jump to go to play 32 minutes a game, if you're able to then, even if you turn the ball over 3 times, if you can somehow jump to 10 assists, that's a huge, huge swing. Or honestly, let's not even say 10, let's say 8, right? 8 is even significant because it means you're playing more minutes, you're facilitating more offense, whatever. So I think that Schroeder should hopefully get off that Kings team. That team is a disaster. But we'll see how it goes. What do you think your biggest surprise was of the tournament in terms of like result or player, like anything?
Serbia losing to Finland has to be up there, even though we were less surprised by it than
Yeah.
other people because we really think Bogdan Bogdanovic was important, which we saw in the game where they got eliminated, where it was just the Jokic and Jovic show and no one else really did anything.
Yeah.
And we had questions about Jovic coming into that game because I was like, yo, he's got to be their number 2. And he became their number 2. The problem was they didn't have a number 3.
They had like numbers 6, 7, and 8, but
it's just a number of things, and I'm curious how this is gonna actually. Let me pull up the rankings also before we get out of here. But I think the way this is gonna shape the FIBA Europe rankings and just the world rankings in general is gonna be interesting, right? So Serbia is number 2 in the world and number 1 in Europe, effectively, before this tournament. That's absolutely like this has to be Germany now. Now it's a point system, so it's a little bit weird. And I talk about this as it relates to very analytical based rankings. If you follow boxing, BoxRec has like their own ranking system, which almost never reflects like what you see it, from the human side, for better or worse, just because it's very data driven. This has a point system that's data driven. But Germany should make this jump, right? If it's me, I can't put Serbia below France or Spain or whatever. I still think Serbia might end up like the second best team in Europe. But if we're going to just Europe specifically here, Finland, who's 13,
Finland's gonna jump.
They have to jump.
Montenegro's gonna come down.
Finland should jump to. They should jump to probably where Italy is.
The problem is Spain is way too highly ranked. Like I think like is really what it is. Like, I think Spain is like really highly ranked, and they have such a gap over Latvia. They're probably not going to really come down. I'm not totally sure how the point system works exactly, but
it's confusing. Latvia didn't do like Latvia got to at least the knockout stage, and Spain didn't. But is that enough to make up this deficit? I don't know. I can't also confidently tell you like Spain should absolutely be below Latvia.
No, I
just like that's the thing that's tough about this. Spain is not as good as they were, but they would still be favored to beat most of this list. Like there'll be underdogs against Serbia, obviously Germany, France, Slovenia, maybe. I mean, I don't like
I
maybe.
don't know. I feel like
It kind of depends who's there.
Montenegro comes down. Turkey obviously is going to skyrocket. Is the
Turkey's
thing?
another one that would be favored against Spain right now. So they're
Yeah,
15, but they don't have like so. I'm just telling people if Turkey, if you think they should be like third, I don't know if that's going to happen just because of how the point system is.
no, it's
They should make a
too.
big leap. Like I would confidently put them in like in this area right here, five
Yeah,
to eight, something like that. Because it is one tournament. You don't want to over index it either. It's like, all right, you guys have to do this again, so to speak. Whereas
yeah,
Spain, for example, on the other side, Spain's kind of showed us, yeah, you're definitely in a rebuilding phase. And even though your rebuilding phase should be better than other teams, like, there's some changes that are going on with the team, with the national team as well. And I wonder how this is going to affect the rankings. I think Poland's a team I would move up. Obviously, Greece should move up. Lithuania, they actually did okay in this
they
tournament.
did good. Honestly, they would have done better had Jokubaitis not gotten hurt too.
Yeah, yeah.
So
They might be Greece. I mean, they might not even be a position. No, they would have actually. They would have still finished second because Germany's in the
yeah,
group.
I mean it's tough because I think this is always one of those things where you have these conversations. You're like, this team should be better. This team should be better. Like more highly ranked. Israel will definitely go up a little bit too, but like no, but the thing is, like, you look at this and you're like, well, how do you pass some of these squads? Like, it's not like Slovenia did anything to be passed, right? Like same thing with Greece. Like Greece was good though, so Greece shouldn't be in this situation. But like Italy played pretty well, Poland played pretty well. So you look at that and you go, well, how are these teams going to get passed? But it's
Mm.
really just these other teams beat you in this tournament. Like they were better.
To your point, I wonder they might. I don't know how much movement there's going to be in the top 9 because Montenegro should come down.
Montenegro
Poland,
should come down.
yeah,
Yeah.
Poland, but I don't think Poland's going to jump like Italy, for example, even though they went around further.
Yeah. I don't
Italy
know
was
how
competitive with
tied.
Slovenia, so
Yeah. I don't know how tied these like rankings are because Montenegro should come down, like for sure.
yeah.
They were bad. Um, Finland, you would think would make a big jump, and same with like Turkey, but at the
And
same
Georgia,
time,
and
yeah,
Georgia,
and Georgia, like it just kind of
they
is one
should
of
all
those.
jump. They should all jump basically the Montenegro spot. Like
Yeah,
Montenegro should come down.
it's
Czech
basically
Republic should absolutely come down because they didn't do anything in this tournament.
well. So I think this is the thing, right? So I just looked it up on like how the rankings work, and it's basically it's a weighted average rating points they earn in games over the last 8 years.
Yeah.
So it
So Serbia is
counts
still eating off of
margin.
winning EuroBasket. I mean, it's Serbia. Spain's still eating off of winning EuroBasket a few years ago.
Yeah, so like that's gonna come down. I think that's the thing. We're gonna start seeing like a swing, but it's gradual. So it'll probably be like when we're getting ready for the Olympics or maybe even the World Cup. Like then you'll start seeing a little bit more of a swing towards some of these newer squads. Like Slovenia is only going to keep getting better too. Like Luka's still pretty young. Greece, same thing with Giannis. So
France also with
France
their
with
young
Wemby, yeah.
guys.
France
Yeah.
gonna have Wemby,
Risa Shea,
Risa Shea,
Koulibaly,
Sar, yeah.
Sar.
Oh yeah, that was the other thing. Koulibaly needs
Mm.
surgery for an injury he got. I don't know if that's why he sucked, but like it
Thumb,
definitely didn't help.
4 to 6 weeks usually a broken thumb is. So that means he'll probably like if you could still draft him in fantasy, he
Yeah.
just might miss the first week or two or something along those lines. But yeah, I fun tournament overall. Let's wrap on Dennis Schroder. Just there's Hall of Fame conversations people are having, like basketball Hall of Fame, and people are like, oh, you got to remember it's the Basketball Hall of Fame. And to be honest with you, I think this is a deep dive that I need to set aside time for in terms of however many amount of guys are in the Hall of Fame, largely because of what they accomplished outside the NBA while being in the NBA. You know what I mean? Because there are guys in the Hall of Fame like Oscar Schmidt who never played in the NBA who were amazing overseas who are amazing in international play. Dennis Schroder is a little bit unique because he's been in the NBA. He's never been an all-star. He's a solid NBA guard. And on top of that, he has a World Cup like championship. He has a World Cup gold medal and an MVP in that tournament. And he has a gold in EuroBasket and an MVP in that tournament and a bronze in EuroBasket and multiple Olympic appearances, like a real like body of work. I don't even know how to sort of look at that compared to some other people. Like I did pull some inductees, but we would be here for too long. And it's like I don't know how to compare Dennis Schroeder's career to like Michael Cooper. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't sound right, you know? Or Pau Gasol, for example. Pau Gasol was also, though, like he was one of the best players in the NBA for a stretch.
Yeah.
And an all-star annually. Like that's an easy one. Dirk
Like
Nowitzki
I think
easy.
Schroeder would be one of those guys that you're like, he might be like the worst NBA player out of, but then like it's hard to even say because it's not like he's a bad NBA player.
Unless there's like guys that like who had a cup of coffee in the NBA but were like awesome in Europe or whatever. To which like that, you know, like Tony Kukoc is in the Hall of Fame and he was never an amazing NBA player, but he was also one of the best players and he was early. He was early in terms of being one of these guys who went to the NBA to begin with.
Yeah.
Like if Tony Kukoc comes over 10 years later, like if he's born 10 years later, basically, and the pipeline is already established, he's a better player because of it. And maybe he's an all-star player because of it, but because he was one of the early ones, you know what I mean? And then you can't compare him to like Drazen Petrovic, rest his soul, because, you know, that was a little bit different. That ended abruptly, unfortunately. Yeah. So like, it's just a weird thing to do. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. I mean, it's tough, but at the same time, he's got 2 MVPs, like in major international competitions, in EuroBasket now and in the World Cup. That's incredible. That's great. So, and then he's also got a bronze with this German team in 2022 in EuroBasket. So, been on multiple all tournament teams. There's definitely a case, and the windup is too. He's going to play more. Like he's going to have another chance at something else too. Like he's not like old yet. And the windup is too. Even if he winds up retiring from the NBA, a lot of these dudes still play for their national teams because they know like the team kind of needs them, and they know too they can like sack up for a couple weeks every year, and be effective in these competitions.
Like Dennis Schroeder is one of these dudes, and you look, we almost saw this with Jonas Valanciunas. Like some of these guys who are maybe toward the end of their careers, like not the end like tomorrow, but in the last, I don't know, 5 years, give or take, might want to go home, kill it in EuroLeague, because that's the thing that Dennis Schroeder can add also. Like,
just have a blast.
He can leave in a couple years. Go to a team that will qualify for EuroLeague or Euro Cup. He can go to Bayern Munich, actually. He can go to Bayern Munich, who's going to be in the EuroLeague this year. He can go to Bayern Munich, which is in Germany, and he could just hoop. He could be like, you know, he can get like an all-league.
Probably get an MVP. Yeah.
You know, he'd be in MVP conversations. If they win a title, he could be Final Four MVP, playoff MVP. Like he can add those things still too. There's a world where he gets traded, like somebody gets hurt, he gets traded to a really good team. And what if he becomes the Denver Nuggets backup point guard that they really need?
Yeah, like what if he gets like that type of accolade,
and then they win a title, and you know what I mean? Like it's, you know, he could be 6th man of the year before his career ends. Like you know, like Dino Raja is on this list, who wasn't like an NBA player for a long time, though he was an effective one. But like it's just such a weird thing. And then when you look at, I'll pull up the EuroBasket MVPs because we're talking about EuroBasket, but wait till you see the World Cup list. So there's only been 2 multiple-time EuroBasket MVP winners, which is kind of crazy, and Pau Gasol is one of them.
Yeah.
Willie Hernan Gomez I don't think we're talking about him as a basketball Hall of Famer necessarily, but
No,
he's
I
got a
didn't
resume.
even
He's got
think.
a resume too, though.
Yeah.
He's got a real resume. Oh, Goran Dragic. Hmm.
Fair.
Pondering that one. He was awesome in EuroBasket that year. Pau Gasol, Tony Parker, Juan Carlos Navarro, who I thought was going to be good in the NBA, left too soon. Gasol again, Andre Kirilenko, Dirk Nowitzki. Like, look at this list.
Yeah. No, it's like
Peja Stojakovic, who I loved when he was in the NBA. Tony Kukoc going further back, Drazen Petrovic, 1989, Arvydas Sabonis. Like there are legends on this list, and then you look at the World Cup. Ricky Rubio, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, Pau Gasol, Dirk Nowitzki.
no, it's like dogs. Like yeah, like it's
Dejan Bodiroga, Shaq, Shaquille O'Neal, Tony Kukoc, Drazen Petrovic, Doc
Rivers in there.
Like it's just man. So we still have to see where this goes. But if you want to argue like he's on a Hall of Fame trajectory, like there are some things he could still add. Like he could add 6-man realistically. He could maybe get a title in the NBA. He could maybe get some accolades in EuroLeague if he leaves early enough and is able to play for a few years. And yeah, I would love that. Dennis Schroder is a player that I've always admired. And I think he could change his view in the NBA a little bit. I think he could be better than what people think of him in the States.
Yeah, I think that there's definitely a lot of opportunity for him. And it'll be interesting to see kind of how that evolves and the way that this team evolves, because like Franz obviously is getting a lot of fanfare now. He's looked at for a variety of different awards. Like, is he going to be an all-star again? Like what are the circumstances around Franz and the Orlando Magic? But it's kind of interesting because he's not even necessarily the best player, at least in the German national team sense. Like, is he the best player on this team?
It's so interesting.
Yeah.
So those are our takeaways from EuroBasket. Germany's awesome. They should be number 2 in the world. And honestly, I think if they keep developing this core, because now teams are gonna like next year. There's nothing. It's just World Cup qualifiers, and then it's the World Cup. So we're gonna start seeing some young players and things like that.
Yeah, next year is actually going to be like our one summer without too much international ball, which kind of sucks a little bit because it is fun. Like, it definitely breaks up the summer. I mean, think about it. We've basically been covering EuroBasket for like a month now.
Yeah. And before that,
so next year we're not going to get that same thing, which kind of sucks a little bit.
Yeah, and if you're curious, this is what you have to look forward to now in terms of FIBA. One, everyone's season is about to start, basically. So you have like EuroLeague, Euro Cup, all the domestic leagues in Europe. Obviously, the NBA, the WNBA playoffs are going on right now, literally right now as we're doing this. Which I'm going to tap into because I want to see the Aces in the Storm. That's just started. In terms of FIBA, though, November is the first World Cup qualifying window. The windows are basically everyone plays 2 games. So you're going to have this fall, you're going to have winter, which is going to be February. Then you're going to have summer, which is like June, July. And then certain teams will get eliminated. At each group, like for the Americas, for example, it's 3 teams advance out of a 4-team group. And then the 4th one gets eliminated. Everyone moves on to play the next phase of games. And then the 4th, 5th, and 6th windows will be 2026 in August, 2026 in like November-ish again, and then 2027 in February. And then by then we'll know who's going to be the 32 teams in the World Cup for 2027. So I'll explain that again at some point, but that's basically the gist. So no more FIBA until November. And maybe I'll do something on that. We'll see what happens. We'll see what that looks like. Obviously, a lot of players will have to try to report from their domestic teams. So like the rosters could get murky. This is why Team USA sends G Leaguers.
And just doesn't give a shit about it. It's hilarious.
Yeah, they're just like, we'll qualify, which they will.
And
then who they send to the World Cup is going to be different. So next year is just going to be some games in the summer here and there. Allows time to focus on W a little bit more. And obviously the FIFA World Cup is going to be here.
True.
So I definitely want to go and cover that. I don't cover as much soccer, football, but I've done some reporting on like the USA Mexico rivalry, for example, in the past. So I'd be curious to see. They actually used one of my articles in the Good Rivals documentary.
That's electric, actually.
Yeah, the Meadowlark Media one. And I love Dan. I love Dan's work. They used it, and the article was screenshotted from my story in Latino Rebels about the rivalry, where I interviewed a few people, one of whom was Hercules Gomez, a former player, about like all these young Mexican American players who like Team USA and Team Mexico are fighting for or whatever. So yeah, the World Cup's going to be interesting because USA, Mexico, and Canada are hosting. So, and all those teams are like, well, not Canada. Canada, I feel like is
Canada will
actually
try, but it is
they're
one of those
happy
where
with
you're
their
like,
product. But USA
yeah,
and Mexico, they're very on edge with their soccer right now, with their
yeah,
football right now.
should be fun.
Yeah. All right. That's it. As far as what's coming on the channel, I need to wrap. I'll put something out on recapping Canelo Crawford and Naoya Inoue fight against MJ, which was waste of time for Naoya Inoue. And then probably take a reset, update some WNBA playoffs, and then get right back into it once the NBA season comes around, because the Knicks are going to have training camp starting in like a week and a half.
I know.
Follow Joe, Catch That Podcast. He's going to get super busy soon. He'll take a little bit of time, but he'll get super busy soon because the NBA is right around the corner.
Yeah.
And you'll be hearing him, and you'll be hearing me also on Buckets on Action Network's NBA podcast. So we'll be there as well. If you enjoyed this, do subscribe. Watch it back. Let the sponsors play, because you get more money that way if you're an independent creator. You don't have to actually do that. You could if you want. It helps, but you don't have to actually do that. That's asking for too much. And join the Discord. It's in the description, and it's free. And it's growing slowly, very slowly, but it's growing.
That's the way.
Peace.